Hi, welcome to my channel. My name's Leilani. You could also call me Lay. Today I want to do a book on haul because that's all I've been watching on YouTube, and I just want to get rid of things that I never planned to read or I read and I don't plan on rereading. So first we'll start off with a book that I have read, which is Leaves of Grass. I read this last year for school. Didn't care for it, and yeah, some stuff is annotated. I don't even know what the tabs mean. I didn't put like a note saying what it means, and I don't plan on ever rereading, so it could go. The next book is Becoming by Michelle Obama. I plan on getting rid of this one because I have it as an audiobook and I don't need both because I'd rather listen to a nonfiction book than read it physically. So this could be given to someone who actually wants to read it physically. The next one is called My Plain Jane. This is an Owl Crate edition, and there is a signed author's note. I just don't plan on reading it. I believe this is like based off of Jane Eyre, or it's a Jane Eyre retelling. I have no desire to pick this book up, so it's gonna go off my shelves. The next book I have read, this was for Books and Lala's first year of doing the Literary Dead Book Club, and it's called The Other People. I have a reading vlog on it, and I believe there's like a blackout during the time I was reading this, but gave it 3 stars. It was okay. I didn't like the ending and I don't plan on rereading, so it's time to unhaul. The next 2 books I did read this year, I have a reading vlog on it, is Intercepted and Blitz. It's a sports football romance where we follow like individual characters who date people on the football team. And I didn't care for it. There's 4 books in the series, read these 2, decided to DNF the series as a whole. The next one that I wanted to read, but it's been on my shelf since I think 2018 or 19, is The Woman in the Window. And I was gonna do a book to movie adaptation where I read the book and then watch the movie that's on Netflix. I ended up watching a movie video essay about The Woman in the Window and no longer want to watch it, so DNFing, or not, haven't read it, so not really DNFing, just getting rid of. The next book is The Magic Misfits. I didn't know this was book 2, and it's been on my shelf for at least 3 years. Don't plan on picking up the first one, so might as well just give it away. My library does have this as an audiobook, the whole series, so if I wanted to read it, I could. The other book that I picked up that I had was One of Us is Lying, and then it became a TV show. So I was going to do book adaptation to TV show, but I soft DNF'd this around page 21. And I never picked it back up, and I don't think I will. The next one is another DNF that I was going to read like 2 months ago. It's called I Woke Up Dead at the Mall. I like the concept of it. So basically, when someone dies or gets murdered, they end up going to a mall when they're dead. It sounds weird, but the premise of it was kind of cool. So you go to a mall and you're basically having like a guide to tell you you have like a day or two to like see what happened to resonate with like how the main character got murdered like at a wedding. So it's basically to say goodbye to your loved ones and or to find out how you died, so you could feel comfortable with like moving on to your next life. I didn't like the writing, so I stopped reading it. The next one that I've had on my shelf for years is Boy Toy, and never picked it up and never read it. Someone gave it to me, but I'm not into the teacher student thing, especially when it's high schoolers. No. So, no. I didn't even like try to pick it up, and maybe it's a good book, maybe it's not. I have no idea, but I don't want to read it. The other book I didn't read that I got because of BookTube is Carry On, and this has been on my shelf for at least 2 to 3 years. I have no desire to pick it up, so don't plan on reading it. And I think it was supposed to be like a Harry Potter fan fiction. Someone could correct me if I'm wrong. I don't actually remember. Never read Harry Potter, so it doesn't really matter. The next book, I think these are just like books that like have authors that have done something. The Wicked Saints. So this is the Owl Crate edition. It has the author's note in it. I was interested in it because the premise sounds cool. There's like monsters and assassins and all this stuff. But the author was doing some shady stuff. And I was like, oh, no, I'm good. So, getting rid of this one. The next one I've had on my shelf for years. This was also gifted to me. I don't have a desire to read this. It's called Silent Alarm. I believe this is like about a school shooting, and with how America is, I don't need to read a book about school shootings, so I'm okay. You know, I'm okay on this one. The next one is this book. So it's Jane Austen. The 4 books in here is Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, Emma and Persuasion. I'm gonna just get rid of the whole thing because it was for school last year and we were reading Pride and Prejudice. I have tabs on that section, but I was listening to it as an audiobook and I still have 2 hours into it and I DNF'd it. But the sad thing is, for Owl Crate, we just got an edition of Pride and Prejudice that is pretty, that I plan on keeping, but I don't need all this because I don't plan on reading these. Boom. The next 2 books were also gifted to me. It's Oakland Tales and Richmond Tales. I have not read these ones. I did read a San Francisco Tale book a few years ago that I didn't enjoy. So these have just been on my shelves because I was like, maybe I'll get to them because they're set in the Bay Area and that's where I'm from. But I'm like, I'm not gonna read these. Somebody else could read them. Yeah, I just thought it was cool having books set in the Bay Area, but I have no desire to pick them up. So, put those there. Another one that was another book that was a soft DNF is A Blade So Black. And I believe there's either 3 or 4 books in this series. And I don't plan on buying the whole series, but I have it as ebook because of my library, so I'm gonna get rid of the physical copy. And I believe this is the Alice in Wonderland retelling. The next book I did read like 3 years ago is My Favorite Half Night Stand by Christina Lauren. I think I gave this a 3 stars. I was debating, actually I might hold on to it. I will do a reread of it just in case, you know, because my tastes have changed over the years. So I'll do a reread. If I don't like it, I'll unhaul it. So it's on the chopping block. Another book that I got from a friend is Shooter. And I was going to do a book to movie adaptation because as a kid I used to watch the movie Shooter on FX or TNT every time it came on, and I was like, oh, I'll read it. And he said it was a great book, and now there's a TV show on it. I was like, oh, I could do TV show and movie and book. But I have no desire to read this because apparently there are like so many books of this series and it's just been on my shelf forever, so I'll just watch the movie. I'll put that there. The next one is another school book, Tabs. It's Great Expectations. Yeah. And I got to page 307. So I haven't finished it. I have no desire to pick it up. Don't really remember much other than I think it was like a boy who was poor and he went with a family that had money and he's trying to be like better and trying to get with this. I don't know. I BS'd my essay, sorry. But yeah, I have tabs in here and I never like wrote down like what the color scheme was for, but I have like post-its of like the chapters because I would forget what was happening, so I wrote post-its so I could remember. And yeah, that could go away. The next book I have was, because of BookTube, Dumpling. A lot of people really liked this book, and then it became a Netflix show, and then some booktubers were supposed to be a part of the Netflix show, so I was going to do book to movie adaptation, and I had no desire, or I have no desire to pick this up, so it could go. My library has it. If I want to read this and the second book, Pudding, I'll do that, but till then, could get off my shelves. The next book is Wonder, and this has been on my shelves for at least 3 years, and I was also going to do a book to movie adaptation, but I feel no need to like grab the book and read the book or watch the movie anymore, so I'm gonna give it away and maybe somebody else would enjoy it. But yeah, and then I'll show you the next 2 books that are on the chopping block as well. So the Shadowhunter Codex, and the only reason why it's on the chopping block is because I like how there's illustrations, and I just love me like a good codex type of moment, because I read the Shadowhunters when I was in high school, and I want to reread this series. So if I reread the series and then I read this and I enjoy it, I'll keep it, but if not, it could go away. The other book, because I told you I didn't finish Pride and Prejudice, because I didn't care for it, but I did like the movie as a kid, so I don't know, maybe it was just the writing. But this is a Pride and Prejudice remix, a retelling. Pride, this is the Owl Crate edition, and it's just so pretty. There's a bookmark, there's an author's note, and then on the inside it looks pretty. And if I'm keeping it right now, I'm only keeping it for the cover, but I think I'll do a reading vlog for these 2 books and then maybe find like another book that I've been like, maybe I'll get rid of. So yeah, these are all the books that I'm unhauling. If there's some that you think I need to read before I let them go, let me know in the comments and I'll put them in the vlog with this one. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.